Hey, 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 what's going on, my people? What's going on? Thank you for tuning in with Prophet Guy. So, in this video, I will discuss how my wife and I made the move to Ecuador coming from Santo Domingo and how we made it happen. I will discuss that in this video. So, stay tuned.
Couldn't take it no more, so I left the matrix.
And my money just tripled. I had a good time and it cost me a little. So I found peace, tranquility, faith in my
I couldn't
abilities.
fake no more, so I left the matrix.
All right, what's going on, my people? So, thank you for tuning in with Prophet Guy. So, like I said, I am going to discuss how my wife and I made the move from Santo Domingo to Quito, Ecuador. How do we make the move? Why did we do it? What steps did we take to make it happen? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and break that down. Meanwhile, during the live stream, if you have any questions, comments, anything at all, go ahead and write in the comment, and I'll make sure I get to you. But I want to make sure that I share this experience with you if you are all considering a move to Ecuador or a move to another country so that you can get in the mindset of what steps you need to take to make the move happen. All right, so how did we decide to leave, or why did we decide to leave the Dominican Republic? Why did we decide to leave the Dominican Republic? So there's a bunch of reasons why, and I think it all just came together, right? The big reason is the cost of living was going up in the Dominican Republic. So before, Dominican Republic was known to be a place that is definitely cheaper than the United States, maybe not as cheap as other countries, but definitely cheaper. So that was what the benefits that we had living in the Dominican Republic. But after a while, those benefits, weren't as beneficial as the cost of living went up in the Dominican Republic. So that's one of the reasons why we decided to leave. Another reason is we really wanted to explore the world. I mean, this is a world with over 200 and something countries. We really wanted to go and experience. So we definitely have done some traveling, but we wanted to do more than travel. We wanted to actually live in another culture, in another country, and get that experience. Also, my wife and I, we have businesses, so therefore we wanted to make sure that we made a move that benefited our businesses. So therefore, we decided, hey, it's best that we leave the Dominican Republic. Another reason why we left is we wanted a change. We just really wanted a change from the Dominican Republic. We wanted someplace that maybe had a cooler climate. We wanted someplace that had a different culture, maybe had some different opportunities to make money. So that's why we decided to leave the Dominican Republic, and we did it. So why did we decide Ecuador? We checked out many countries. One of the countries that was on the top of our list was Colombia. Another country on the top of our list was Mexico. Portugal was definitely high on our list. We looked at Brazil a little bit, and we also looked at Argentina and Costa Rica. So Argentina and Costa Rica were definitely high on the list as well. My big thing is I did not want to be too far away from the Caribbean because we have ties in the Caribbean. I want to make sure that wherever we went, we were able to get to the Caribbean quickly. So that is one of the reasons why, that is one of the things I was looking into when deciding. My wife wanted to make sure that we had a place where it could benefit our business, right? So which country is that? Another thing is we wanted to go someplace that had the climate we were looking for, a cooler climate than the Dominican Republic. Being Santo Domingo, it's hot all year round. every day, all day. We wanted some place where it wasn't as hot. Maybe a place that didn't have mosquitoes, right? So that was the reason why we decided on Ecuador. Ecuador is capital city, is high in the mountains, has cool climate. That is the reason why. That's one of the reasons why we were considering Colombia. We wanted to be in the capital, which is Bogota, and Bogota also has a cool climate. That is the reason why we were also considering Costa Rica, because Costa Rica is high in the mountains. It also has a cool climate. San Jose was the capital of Costa Rica. So we were considering all those, and ultimately we decided on Ecuador. But why? Why did we decide on Ecuador? Well, I wanted someplace that the immigration process was easy. For us to go there to get a residency, I wanted someplace that was relatively easy and straightforward. Now, no place is easy and straightforward, but I wanted the most easy and straightforward. And Ecuador seemed to be that place. The type of person I am, I like to do everything myself. So I looked online, checked out Ecuador's requirements, see if I met them, see if it was easy to get those documents. And basically, as soon as I looked online, I realized that I already had all the documents on hand, right? Because we have been planning this move for a while. So part of me wanted to do the process myself. But after reading a lot of blogs and watching a lot of YouTube videos and the comments of different people, it is for Ecuador, it's easier to do the immigration process within Ecuador as opposed to being in your country of residence. So being in the Dominican Republic, it seemed to be easier to actually just come here as a tourist. My wife and I come here as a tourist and start the process here, and that is what we did. One of the biggest qualifiers was the income. Just so you know, Ecuador has many types of visas, the most that I've seen in any country. I mean, a professional visa, meaning that if you have a degree from a university, whether it's basket weaving, whether it's animation, whether it's history, whether it's engineering, whatever the case is, you can actually use that degree to get a residency visa, temporary residency in Ecuador. And you only have to make the minimum salary in Ecuador in that case, and that is $450. In my case, I used the I guess retired / remote working visa, and that's the visa I use. And for that, you have to make at least 3 times the minimum salary of Ecuador, which is about $1,350. Yeah, $1,350. So that's the minimum. So you have to show that you make that money. Now, how do you do that? Well, since I've gone through the process, and it seems that the big focus is on the status of the bank statements, right? The bank statements. So it's not like what I did in the Dominican Republic, for example. I just print out my bank statements. I got it certified by the bank, and boom, that's it. No, here you actually have to go into your bank account, online bank account, right? You have to log in, username, password. You have to go to bank statements, and you have to go to the last 3 bank statements for the type of visa I'm going for. And the notary will actually go through each bank statement and verify that you have the amount of income coming in every month, right? That's what they use here in Ecuador. There's no way you can cheat the system in Ecuador. You have to look at your account, and the notary certifies those bank statements, and that is what the immigration really use to qualify you for the residency visa. So I'm talking to you now on Sunday. So in 2 days, on Tuesday morning, my wife and I have to go to the immigration for our visa appointment with all the documents. And there, we expect to have our visa, our residency visa. So the way it works here is the residency visa is digital. And usually those are made available. Those are approved the same day of the residency. So Tuesday, by Tuesday afternoon, we should have our digital residencies where we can use to actually go and apply for a cedula. We can actually use to do a whole bunch of things that only citizens and residents of Ecuador can do. So that's what's moving forward for us. But to go back, what was our first step? What first step did we make in the Dominican Republic in order to make the move to Ecuador? So the biggest thing we did was basically create some sort of timeline and immediately started selling stuff. Once we realized that, hey, we expect to be in DR on this date. Well, we expect to be, excuse me. As soon as we decided we expect to be in Quito on this date, we sort of back planned and immediately started to sell all of our furniture and household goods. I mean, we sold just about everything. Well, I shouldn't say we. My wife sold just about everything. And then all the money we had from selling everything in our house, we actually put in the bank account, was just sitting there so that once we make the move to our final destination, we would use that to go in and buy the things we need for our household once we get to that destination. So yes, I am here in Ecuador. We are here in Ecuador, but Ecuador is not our final destination. Ecuador is just a place we decided to come to sort of explore and get a really good experience from before we move on to our final destination. So in the Dominican Republic, we sold all of our stuff. We put all of our documents together. We contacted an agency because normally I would do all this stuff myself. But in this case, I really wanted to go through an agency to make the process smoother, simply because we do not expect to spend a lot of time in Ecuador. So I wanted things to move pretty quickly so that we can get the experience. And because I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to all this immigration and residency stuff, I really wanted to go through the experience so that I could actually have the residency, but not also have the residency, but also share with you all on how I did it and get some tips to you all if you are interested in that process. So I went through an agency. I sent them an email. They let me know the requirements. I sent them all the requirements because I already had everything, because we already knew we were going to be making this move. So I already had all the documents. I sent it to them. The agency evaluated it, said, hey, you're good to go. Let me know when you're arriving into the country. I let them know. I got to the country, let them know I made it. And boom, DJ Danny, muchas gracias por venir aquí, hermano. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. So as I was just saying, I let the agency know that when we were coming. So when we got to Quito, I let them know we were here, and immediately we started the process of everything. So once we got here, they already made the visa appointment with us for with immigration here. And boom, that's it. So now we have all of our documents and we are waiting for our immigration appointment on Tuesday. And we expect that everything will go well and we will leave that building with our digital residency visas, which we'll be able to use to get our cedula here in Ecuador and do much more other things that ordinary Ecuadorian citizens and residents can do. So DJ Danny, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo está, hermano? ¿Cómo va todo? How's everything? So yeah, so what did we do? What did we do when we got here? So once we arrived to Ecuador, we already had our Airbnb paid out for a month. So that's one thing we did. It was not very, very expensive. Muy bien, gracias. Está bien, está bien. Muchas gracias por venir aquí conmigo, mi hermano. Muchas gracias. So once we got to our Airbnb, the place is nice, right? It's in the best zone in Quito, or one of the best zones in Ecuador. This zone is called La Carolina, which is around like basically the around Parque Carolina, Carolina Park. And yeah, the area is nice, the place is nice. ¿Cómo está Ecuador? Mira, Ecuador es muy bien. Mira, Ecuador es un país muy interesante que tiene muchas cosas para ofrecer y yo recomiendo este país mucho. La única cosa es que si uno va a Quito, la clima en Quito es muy diferente que, por ejemplo, la clima en Santo Domingo, right? So I'm just telling DJ Danny that the climate here in Quito is very different from Santo Domingo. So, entonces, mucha gente, tú tienes que adaptar al clima aquí porque llueve mucho, está nublado todos los días. Gracias a Dios que hoy día el sol salió, pero solo salió por un ratico, pero suficiente tiempo para que la gente pueda salir para disfrutar, jugando deporte, caminando en el parque. So the weather was good enough today for a while for people to go outside and enjoy the sun and walk around the park and play sports and things like that. But as soon as it was nice was as soon as it became, cloudy and rainy, right? We even saw hail today. It was raining hail. So that's what happens here. But mira, para los holidays, nada, aquí tranquilo. Mira, mi esposa y yo disfrutamos nuestra fin de semana by relaxing, tomando todo tranquilo, relaxing. And I'm here doing this YouTube thing right now, but I really wanted to get this information out, so I wait for the weekend to do so. So we're really enjoying ourselves here. Surprisingly, here in Ecuador, a lot of stores are closed. A lot of businesses are closed this weekend, which is surprising. I found it out maybe. So this is Semana Santa. This is Holy Week. So it was starting around Thursday and Friday is where we started to see that many businesses were closed. Fue como el jueves, durante esta Semana Santa, el jueves o el viernes es cuando todos los negocios, las tiendas, empezó a cerrar. Y no hay muchos negocios y muchos tiendas que están abiertos hoy. Muchos tiendas están cerrados hoy. Pero como yo te digo, la gente está disfrutando, la gente está afuera, caminando, disfrutando la clima, porque ahora el sol está afuera, pero se parece que va a llover otra vez hoy. Mira, eso es la clima aquí. That's the climate here, man. It just changes. I mean, it was sunny up until about 2 or 2:30, and then it was raining and cloudy, and then at 3:30, the sun came back out. And now it's almost 5 o'clock and it looks like it's going to rain and the clouds are moving in. So that is the typical day here in Quito. It is very, very inconsistent, but consistently inconsistent. I should say that. But going back, so the area we live in is La Carolina. It's a nice area, one of the most well-to-do areas, a lot of restaurants, quite a few malls, not just one mall, but a few malls just in this zone. A lot of high-rise. It's nothing but high-rise buildings here. A lot of you'll find there's quite a few foreigners. I think this area is where foreigners gravitate to when they actually come to Quito. It's a nice area. It really is. I can't front. This is probably like one of the best areas I've ever stayed in for a long period of time. Definitely one of the best areas I stayed in for a long period of time. Definitely. It's probably the best area I've ever stayed in for a long period of time. Let me just say that. It is nice. It's nice. I highly recommend if someone were to come to Quito for any amount of time, even if it's just for a week or for a month or for longer, definitely, I recommend using La Carolina, this zone, as their home base in Quito or their home base in Ecuador, because this place is dope. It really is. So after coming here in Ecuador, we really just went around Quito, a lot around Quito to get to know the area. I don't put a lot of stuff out on video that I everything on video what I do, but because I don't like filming folks and I don't like just filming like every little thing I do. But what I can tell you, the bit that I film, and some of you all may have seen my videos, this area is nice. And not just this area of La Carolina, there are many areas that are nice in Quito. There's Marisca Sucre, which is they also call Folk, where there's the Plaza Folk or Foch, however you pronounce that. There's also the Historic Center, which is pretty nice to go to on the weekends, especially on Sundays. If you were to leave the city and maybe you want to go to a suburb, Cumbaya is a dope suburb to go to. If you want to leave Quito altogether, there is Guayaquil. Mira, mucha gente caga encima de Guayaquil. Dice que Guayaquil es malo. They say Guayaquil is dangerous, is violent, you know, ten cuidado, and todo eso. But really, Guayaquil is dope. It's different, definitely a very different vibe. I would say Guayaquil has more of a Colombian like type of vibe. I should say maybe like almost like a Cartagena type of vibe, or maybe like a Cali type of vibe. Guayaquil has more like a Cali type of vibe, right? You'll find it's hot, it's humid. It's the largest city in Ecuador. It's close to like the beach town. So Guayaquil is not on the beach, it's actually on the foot of the bay, which goes out to the sea. And it's dirty water. Not when I say dirty water, not that it's polluted necessarily, but it's like mud water, right? It's really like mud water that frequently like rises and lowers, rises and lowers itself again. So the water is like really like murky, but it's close to the beaches. I mean, you talk about 2 hours, 3 hours from Guayaquil, you can easily be in Salinas, Santa Elena, La Libertad, Montanita, and all those places over there. So you can really enjoy yourself by going to Guayaquil. And Guayaquil, just from the surface, seems like it has like the dopest suburbs, like the dopest communities that you want to live in. That are like gated communities that have their own like malls and like plazas and stuff like that. I've never seen that in Ecuador. That's the first time I've seen that, and I've only seen that in Guayaquil. There's a lot of money in Guayaquil because Guayaquil is where Ecuador's port is located. So a lot of money is in Guayaquil. So even though Quito is the capital and most of the money in the country is in Quito, Quito is the financial center of the country. Guayaquil is like the working city in the country where it's a dope country. I mean, it's a dope city. I recommend it. Don't let people steer you away from Guayaquil. Check it out for yourself. And they got an area there in Guayaquil, which is really dope as well. Really high class. A lot of rich folks go to, and it's really dope. Cuenca is also a city that I highly recommend you go to. It's like Cuenca is the third largest city in Ecuador. It's filled with foreigners, has a strong international influence. It's the weather is similar to the weather here in Quito, and it's very historic, and it's safe. It's one of the safest cities in the country, and you'll definitely enjoy yourself there in Cuenca. There's also some other cities as well. There is a city in the Amazon called Tena, and that is about 3 hours away from Quito. And I plan on going there, and definitely going to be doing some recording there because I want to be able to get that Amazon rainforest experience here in Ecuador. I probably, my wife and I do plan on hitting up a resort, the Royal Decameron real soon. But before we do that, we got some family members coming in next week, and we plan on going to do some of the tourist areas like Baños. So you'll be getting some footage of that just so you can see what it's like. Baños is where they have the thermal hot springs, and also they have like some crazy like mountain experiences and waterfall experiences there. We'll also be going to Cuenca, and we'll be doing a lot of the tourist stuff here in Quito, which is like the going to the equator. right? The mitad del mundo, right? The equator, the actual equator spot. And we'll be going through some volcanoes and a couple of other areas, places in the area. So definitely stay tuned for all those moves that we're going to make here in Ecuador. But with this video, I wanted to give you all an idea of how we made the move and what are the steps we take to make the move to Ecuador coming from the Dominican Republic. And that is what we did. So before I go, I wanted to basically say this to you all, that it's not just Westerners, like people from the United States or Europe, Canada, that actually move to other countries. There are plenty Dominicans, for example, moving to Ecuador, or moving to Colombia, or moving to Spain or Mexico or Chile. Chile is another really hot spot. So, para todos mis dominicanos allá, mira, si ustedes quieren salir del país para trasladar a otro país, para mudar a otro país, es posible. Es posible. Solo tienes que elegir cuál país, cuál tipo de visa, y hacer un plan para cumplir todo eso. Entonces, es es una cosa posible. Entonces, yo recomiendo, si ustedes quieren salir del país, porque mucho, no solamente dominicanos, pero mucho gente de muchos países está yendo para México, por ejemplo, para ir a Estados Unidos, ¿no? Y yo sé que en los Estados Unidos uno puede ganar dinero, right? Mira, el país que uno puede ganar mucho dinero es los Estados Unidos. Los Estados Unidos da muchas oportunidades, pero también uno tiene que recordar que ese país tiene un gasto. Los costos para vivir en Estados Unidos son muy altos. También es un país que tiene muchas reglas, ¿no? Y uno tiene que pensar en todo eso, y tienes que pensar que, mira, hay otras oportunidades en otros países también. Estados Unidos no es el único país que uno puede ir para ganar mucho dinero. Hay muchos países. Y estamos aquí en Ecuador, y nosotros queremos mostrar que Ecuador es una posibilidad. Mira, hay una comunidad, no es una comunidad muy grande aquí, pero hay una comunidad dominicana aquí. Y nosotros vamos a como entrar a esa comunidad para mostrar a otros dominicanos, pero mira, hay oportunidades aquí. Nosotros fuimos a un restaurante dominicano ayer. Sí fue cerrado por la Semana Santa, pero fuimos, y ellos tienen una posición fuerte en la comunidad aquí en Quito. Entonces, hay dominicanos. Nosotros fuimos a algunos dominicanos en el Parque Carolina hace 1 hora y pico. Entonces, hay muchos dominicanos que están mudando a otros países y viviendo bien. Entonces, eso es una oportunidad, ¿no? And that's all I got for today. Eso es todo lo que yo tengo para ustedes. So, if you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe. If you are not subscribed, por favor, suscríbeme. Suscríbete a mi canal si no estás suscrito ahora, por favor. Da me gusta, comparte con la familia, los amigos, las colegas, toda la gente. Just please share my channel, my videos with your family, your friends. I really would like to grow my channel and get more feedback from you all, so I can, improve in making these videos and putting out information for you all, because that's what I enjoy doing, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. But it's also really good to get feedback from you all. So muchas gracias por todo. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and please stay tuned for my next videos. Peace.